That has stopped, and they have that under control, and they are processing these family units and deporting these migrants at a pretty fast level now. I mean, just a few days ago, we had 13,000 Haitians living under the bridge, and right now we're around 5,000. So it is speeding up the processing, and then, like you said before, these family units are now being processed and are now being released inside the United States and going to be reunited with American families here back in the States.
All right, we know you spent some time down in Mexico over the past couple of days. Are there more waves of people coming up through Mexico trying to get across the border right now?
That has slowed down. So I was in Ciudad Acuña, which is the Mexican town right across Del Rio, Texas. It's a makeshift migrant camp where now Haitians are essentially just stuck there living there. And when I asked them if they have any plans to go to Del Rio, they told me no, that they don't want to be deported. The majority of the Haitians actually, they're living in Ciudad Acuña right now in that migrant makeshift camp. They actually were living under that bridge in Del Rio. Some of them said that they went with no food for up to 3 days, and that they actually decided to walk back to Mexico. And in that video, Leland, that I've shot, you could actually see that the supply lane of the Haitians on the Mexican side delivering supplies to the Haitians on the American side, and using that rope to just keep their balance right there on the Rio Grande. But they've been crossing back and forth throughout the day and the night, and I've never seen anything quite like that.
You saying you've never seen anything like that is saying something, considering how much time you've spent on the border. What are your sources saying, though, up and down the Rio Grande on either side of Del Rio? You've got so many resources in Del Rio. Are the coyotes and traffickers using this as an opportunity to get people across in other areas?
So that's what we are suspecting. Border Patrol telling me is that one thing that they're extremely worried about is that, so right now we're in Del Rio, so 3 hours away we have a town called Laredo. It's also a border town. So between here and Laredo, they actually have Border Patrol checkpoints. Well, those checkpoints right now are unmanned, considering that they had to send 400 Border Patrol agents just here in Del Rio. So you would have to imagine that the cartel is taking advantage of the situation where now we have unmanned checkpoints right here in South Texas.
Interesting that you say that people are now staying in Mexico because they don't want to be deported from the United States. How much of this big surge that we saw over the past couple of days or week, perhaps, was because people thought they weren't going to be deported if they came to the United States?
Well, that's the assumption that we've been documenting here, Leland. And this has begun even before the Haitians came. So when we were interviewing Central Americans and the Venezuelans that are coming over, the big conception is that if they could just cross into the U.S. and make it here illegally, that they would be given some type of asylum seeker status or temporary protected status. So the big difference between the Trump and the Biden administration right now is the Remain in Mexico policy. When Trump was in office and he had the Remain in Mexico policy, that's what deterred a lot of the immigration. Now they know that they could actually be released inside the United States and given the court order to appear. So that's the assumption right now, that is, hey, if we could just make it across, we're good to go. And I would imagine that the news of these family units being released into the United States is going to make their way down to the Haitians in Mexico. So now, I would expect that these Haitians now are going to come into the United States just claiming that they're family units just so they can be processed and released here in the States.
Yeah, if they say they're family units, they get treated so differently. Or have you had a chance to talk to any of these people who are in the family units, if you will? They're going to get released in the United States. They've got literally the clothes on their back, which is what you've reported on. Where do they go?
So we've been interviewing some of the Haitian migrants that were sleeping outside of the Del Rio airport, and when I spoke to them and asked them where they were headed, the majority of the Haitians that I spoke to are actually headed to Florida. So when I asked, do you have family back in Florida, they did confirm this. So what we are seeing is flights out of Del Rio. Some of these Haitian migrants are actually going to be bused to the San Antonio airport. From San Antonio, they'll take their flights. But the majority of Haitians that I spoke to that got released into the United States are headed to Florida, according to them.
All right. Jorge, great work. Keep it up, and keep letting us know what you're finding between here and Laredo, all right?
Thanks, Leland.
All right. Good talking to you. Of course, millions of Americans